that's a really hard cycle to break when children find themselves in that situation. So just like a daily mug of porridge can really make a difference, and then consequently to the opportunities that children get when they're adults.
Get Radio Breakfast with Rich Smith.
Small Charities Week continues here at Get Radio. Really looking forward to catching up with my next guest, Tamsin Weimer, the social media and events coordinator for the African Children's Fund. Tamsin, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Rich.
Thanks so much for joining us. Now, I'm going to start off with a compliment, which is not something I usually do on this, but we had a lovely message in from Campbell saying, yes, Tamsin's on, brilliant, such a good cause. I know they all are. We support them whenever we can. So I've thrown that at you straight away already.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you, Campbell. That's hugely appreciated.
Already a popular figure. We've not even started chatting. Well, look, we have spoken before. Just give people a little reminder and a refresher about the African Children's Fund.
Yeah, absolutely. So African Children's Fund, we're an Oxfordshire-based charity. We're a small charity and we support programmes in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda and Zimbabwe, where our partners collectively help around 5,000 children every day go to school. And for us, it's really important that we work with local partners who understand what some of those barriers might be locally and what solutions their communities will accept and what solutions are like practical to implement in those areas as well. So the biggest programme we run is a Porridge Clubs programme. So it's essentially a school feeding programme supporting children who are living in food poverty, where like just a mug of porridge, it's really simple, it's 9p for a mug of porridge, can make the difference between children going to school and the alternative being that they have to work or scavenge or beg on the streets for food. And of course, that's a really hard cycle to break when children find themselves in that situation. So just like a daily mug of porridge can really make a difference, and then consequently to the opportunities that children get when they're adults.
No, for sure. And so many wonderful schemes and things happening. Interestingly, though, and I'm kind of assuming that maybe you get this a lot, but I think people will be quite surprised to hear that you are indeed a local charity with shops in Farringdon and Whitney and what have you that are sort of frequent and what have you. Is that something that's kind of come back to you a little bit as well, that people go, oh, I didn't realise it was Oxfordshire-based?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. So our registered office, which is a really grand term, is in Longworth. So we're between sort of Whitney and Abingdon. And our charity shops, we've got 3 shops, as you say, we've got Whitney, Farringdon and Grove as well. So they all kind of form a little radius around Longworth. So yeah, I think people are surprised to hear that we're so local, but it's really important to us that we are really grounded in the community that we work. So although our work is overseas, we're very much part of the communities that people find us in as well.
No, absolutely. I couldn't remember Grove. That was the one I was trying to do from memory, and I was like, I didn't have it in front of me.
The Trixie Third shop.
That's the one. That is the one. And of course, the shop fronts are vitally important and key to the success and the scalability of the charity as well, which is fantastic to have 3 shop fronts where people can kind of donate and also buy things as well.
Absolutely. And I think it's really important to remember that every time someone does bring their sort of pre-loved items into our charity shops, or every time someone buys something from one of our charity shops, those funds are going to contribute to the work that we do. And so, as I say, like the Porridge Clubs one is the real tangible one. 9p is a really small amount of money for most of us. So like every £9 that our shops receive can equate to 100 children going to school tomorrow who might not otherwise be able to. So yeah, I think, like you say, I think charity shops are great. They really bring people together. I think they can be a real centre point for the community. We know for a lot of customers who they can come in and chat. It's not like you're having to wait in a queue and be hurried through a queue for a bigger shop. And it really can form a real centrepiece for some of those people. You're saving items from landfill, giving items a second home. So from a sustainability and an environmental perspective, they're really important as well. Plus, like you say, whenever people buy things or bring things into us, it's really having a positive impact somewhere else in the world.
Yeah, exactly that. And actually, the crazy thing is, hearing about this is actually the small amount that can make that massive difference. I know it's almost a bit of a cliche to say those words like that, but it's actually true. Like when you mentioned, a mug of porridge, how and what that leads to and what that means. It means that a child can go to school, be fed, be alert, learn,
Yeah.
and the knock-on effect from all of that is from you going, have a mug of porridge. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and the long-term impact is something that's really important, and I think sometimes maybe we don't remember to promote as much as we could do. So not only are children going to school, not only are children learning when they're in school, but school will help children to build relationships with seniors, with their peers. They can develop kind of creative skills through play, through poetry. They perform better in PE. There's like a whole range of attributes and soft skills as well that children will develop when they're learning and when they're at school, that will really combine to give them better opportunities as they get into adulthood, and better opportunities for better employment. That means they'll earn more money so that their children and their families won't end up in the same situation. So I think there are statistics out there that prove the financial impact of education. So particularly relating to girls' education as well. So for a girl who goes to school, for every year of primary school a girl completes, she will earn 10% more as an adult than a girl who hasn't been to school at all. For every year of secondary school she completes, that would be a 20% increase in comparison to a girl who hasn't been to school at all. Wow. So, I mean, that's massive. That's really, really massive. And that's like I say, that will change the circumstances that those children will be able to live in as they get older.
Yeah, it's great to have to actually put figures and numbers and kind of, we're all kind of looking and seeing how much more 20% and 10% more is. It makes it a lot more real, which is fantastic. And in terms of, I've been chatting to the charities, of course, this week and what have you. We've been talking about various different events that have gone by and kind of coming up as well as just shop fronts. There's lots of various different things and bits and bobs happening. What's happening with the African Children's Fund?
Well, so we haven't got special events this week, but next year we're 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
So we're really excited, and we're already planning a series of the kind of events and things that people will be able to get involved in throughout the course of next year. So there's definitely going to be some bigger stuff next year from an events perspective. So that's really exciting. We've also got this morning, there's a group of Oxfordshire charities. We've got an Oxfordshire Charity Fundraisers Forum, which is a really great opportunity for lots of, because Oxfordshire has got so many small charities working within it. And within those small charities, lots of us, we have a lot of people are sole fundraisers. So we might not have a team around us. It might be just us kind of trying to muddle through, obviously with the support of our colleagues as best we can. So it's always really great to have an opportunity to catch up, to collaborate, to share stories, to hear how other people in the charity sector are getting on. So it's a really, really supportive community that we've got in Oxfordshire amongst the charity network.
That is amazing to hear, because it as you kind of know, it is fighting for that space, and it is kind of putting in there. But and we hear this so much, and it must be true, because it ranges from every type of business, every type of collaboration, charities, as we now know, included in that. Everyone working together for the greater good means that everyone can have a bigger share of the pie. Everyone can kind of help each other out, and there is that sense of community in every aspect, and even charity as well. That's so good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And a big shout out as well. There's an organisation or a group, an informal organisation called the Robin Network in Oxford, which also enables sort of charities, non-profits, community interest companies to meet up with local businesses to see again whether there are skill sharing opportunities. Because again, we talk about donations for us are crucial, funding for us is crucial to support the programmes and the projects. But actually, as a small charity, there are skills that we simply don't have amongst our very, very small team. So actually kind of in-kind donations and donations of skills and support are really, really useful to us as well.
Brilliant stuff. And more information, as well as popping into the shops, of course, in Witney, Farringdon and Grove, remembered, yes. Popping along to the website as well.
Yeah, so our website is just africanchildrensfund.org, and we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and we've got a LinkedIn company page as well on there. So yeah, people can find us on those organisations, and by all means kind of drop us DMs or send us messages. We've got an info@ email address as well. So if anyone's got any queries or questions, we'd love to hear from people.
Brilliant. It's been really great catching up with you again this morning about the amazing work you do, and another kind of another conversation where we found out a little bit more interesting things that are happening with charities and the collaboration processes that are going on as well. So we always love these conversations. We always love these chats, and we love this week where we can speak to so many wonderful charities just like yours. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Tams. We really appreciate it.
You're really welcome, and thank you as well to Get Radio for supporting small charities this week. It's massively, massively appreciated.
Bless you. That's really kind, really kind. This is the reason why we do it. It's quite simple, isn't it? You've just heard the reason why we do it. Lovely stuff. Tams Environment there, social media and events coordinator at the African Children's Fund. As we say, pop into one of their shops or have a little look at the website for more info. And a big year next year, which means Tams has got to come on next year. There we go. That's sold.